Outside of the industry, outside of the box, outside of the chains and outside of the locks. Outside of the industry, outside of the box, outside of the chains and outside of the locks. Outside of the industry, outside of the box, outside of the chains and outside of the locks. Outside of the industry.
You are now tuned into Industry Outsiders Radio broadcast. We welcome you with your host, Wise Guy Pug. Let's go.
Outside of the industry, outside of the box, outside of the chains and outside of the locks. Outside of the industry, outside of the box, outside of the chains and outside of the locks. Outsiders.
What up? What's happening? Industry Outsiders Radio Podcast. It's been a minute, y'all. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. What's up, Industry Outsiders?
What's up? What up? Hey, I got my family in the building today. I got my wife. Introduce yourself.
I'm Demita.
And I got my daughter.
I'm Brittany.
So, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
I'm good. It's a beautiful day.
Top of the year. It's a new year. 2021.
Yes, it is.
And who would have ever thought it?
Those numbers sound crazy to me.
I know, right?
2021.
They do.
Especially
Seemed like it was just 2000.
21 years ago.
Wow.
Y2K. Remember that scare?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
remember that.
Yeah, you remember that?
I'm like, what? What happened?
She's like, what happened?
What are we talking about?
No, you just came out. You were just born in 94.
I know, I was 6.
6 years
I was
old.
talking about 2000.
Y2K, that was a whole nother thing. See, wow, people thought the world was going to end then.
They did. That's what they told us.
Yeah.
But look at us, 21 years later.
Yeah. So we had a whole nother challenge back then.
Yeah.
2021, we got, it seemed like challenges come every few years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So now we got something else we're dealing with, coronavirus. How is it affecting you guys in your workspaces?
Well, my workspace is pretty cool. We are kind of like making sure certain people, we don't schedule a lot of people to come in the office at the same time. So it's more so now, instead of you being able to just walk in when you want to, we try our best to schedule appointments. But work is cool. You know, we keep our mask on when there's a lot of people in the office. I'm in my own office all day, so of course I'm not masking for me. So when I'm in my office, I don't wear my mask. But when I step out of it into the open area, I put it on.
You guys, you working from home now, right?
Yeah, I've been working from home since March of 2020. So it's been...
Since the beginning of it.
Yeah, what's that, 9 months? Maybe? Almost a year coming around.
Yeah.
So how has that been? What is like I would say the benefit and the challenges of that?
Ooh. The benefit, I would say, is just having the flexibility of being able to just wake up and dive right in and get to work and not having to, get dressed at that very moment if I don't want to drive to the office and all of that. The challenge is not having that separation between work and home. There's really no cutoff. Usually when you go to work, you go to the office, you do your job, and then you kind of transition your mind when you go home. You shut it all off.
Right.
But being in the same space for each is kind of just, it's no separation, no shutdown period.
Right. It's all mental.
Yeah, because I'm doing work in a living space that I would probably watch TV in too. So that could be a challenge.
Oh, yeah.
So could that also be a distraction if you're not disciplined?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have days where I'm sitting on the couch doing work and I'm like, I could just take a nap right now. I would rather take a nap.
Yeah. Man, I can't even imagine. At my job, we haven't had a break during this whole time. I just got a break maybe Thanksgiving time, Christmas time, and now New Year's. And that's only because of those holidays, not coronavirus. I think we had twice since this thing first started back in March that we shut down on like a Wednesday for the rest of the week. Then we came back on Monday. That only happened twice. Other than that, we haven't had a break.
Was that because people were infected with COVID at your job or?
During that time? Yeah, we had a couple cases during that time. And we haven't had a whole lot of cases this past year, but we've had some cases since the time that we had off, right? But they haven't been shutting the whole plant down like they did those 2 previous times. They just let us know what was going on, told us to continue to social distance, wear our masks, wash our hands, be careful about what we're doing. We have a setup where we come in at my job to where we have to get up, stand in front of this facial recognition camera, and it takes our temperature.
Okay.
So we have to do that daily.
Okay.
But it's nothing really strict. I put it like this: it's not nothing set in place to where if somebody did come up where they had a bad temperature, it's like on us, our responsibility to go tell someone that, it's not nobody standing there to verify. So it's kind of strange. But I will say that I haven't seen nobody or heard, just being right there and witnessing nobody had a high temperature. So it's been all good, but
one of the people from the Marion County Public Health Department said that that's like a false signal and people should stop taking temperatures because you can take a temperature, your temperature could be fine, but you can still have COVID, so what's the point?
Wow, I never heard that before.
Yeah, I believe that.
I believe it too.
And then my sister was taking her daughter to school the other morning, and they take their temperature. Her temperature wasn't high, but it was like almost at that level. But she had on tons of clothes.
Yeah.
The heat was on in the car, so it's like, what does that really mean?
Right.
Some of us have really high body temps.
Yeah.
Right. Wow. So speaking of our jobs, Brett, we know that I used to keep my viewers up on what you're doing, your accomplishments all the time, right?
Yeah.
So since you graduated grad school, got your master's in public relations, right?
Yep.
Tell everybody what you're doing now. What type of work are you doing?
Yeah, so I think it's funny because I graduated with a public relations degree, but I kind of transitioned into the marketing, advertising side of things, which is a little different. I think with marketing, advertising, I think I enjoy it a little bit more because I think us as Black and brown folks, we're often misrepresented in advertising and in marketing. And so I think that we don't have too many us Black people at the seat of the table either to kind of address those stereotypes. We don't have anybody at the table to address those things because if there's not one of us at the table, the other people, they don't know because they're not us. And so I think that's where I come in and that's why I enjoy it so much, so I can be that voice. Obviously, I'm not the spokesperson for all Black people, but I can speak to my experience and my conversations and experience with other people that look like us and just inform them of, hey, you said this in this script, I may not use that word, or you're showing this in this commercial, I might not show that because it can rub some people the wrong way. So I think that's why I really enjoy it. Again, public relations, I also enjoy like doing press releases and stuff like that, but I think marketing has a special place in my heart because I have that ability to kind of speak up for us when we're not in the room and don't have the means to speak up for ourselves.
And you guys have just with your company, you guys have some very important clients, right?
Yeah, we do.
You deal with like politicians and all type of people.
Yeah, politicians, hospitals. We have quite a few hospital accounts. Indiana Farm Bureau is one of them. So tons of people in tons of different sectors of business, I would say. But yeah, a lot of them are pretty important.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So you just mentioned that you got a special place in your heart for the marketing side. Do you see yourself going in that direction? Like, what is the long term, the bigger picture? Have you thought about that yet, or are you just enjoying the ride right now?
I think I'm just enjoying the ride because as a little girl, I've always been passionate about so much.
Yeah.
That I've had the challenge of separating my various passions, and so I know that I still have a very special place in my heart for education, and a very special place in my heart for children, and so that's still something that pulls on me at times. Like I thought about during COVID going back to school for my PhD in urban education studies.
Yeah.
Because I still want to have a role in the space of education and impacting children or teens or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Marketing is a lot different than that world. So I think I'm just enjoying the ride. I think the commonality between those 2 or 3 careers would just be helping underrepresented individuals, being us as Black people, Black and brown folks, and then kids.
Right. Wow, that's amazing. I'll tell you what, we're just gonna trust that God is gonna lead you along the way.
Yeah.
You know, just keep listening, following your heart, and learning everything that it is to learn. Because who knows how much your world can open and where He's gonna lead you to. You might end up owning any of these things in the future, you know what I'm saying, and running it. So just keep learning, whatever you do. And you just mentioned something that kind of like opened a whole nother door. You just mentioned children.
Yeah.
Got a special place in your heart for children. What was it, about a week ago we did a live?
Yeah.
So we did a live on Facebook about a week ago, and we actually we had a toast.
Yeah.
We had a toast. We had some news to announce, even though that really wasn't what the live was about, but it kind of turned into just telling the world, just telling everybody that our baby girl is expecting. Our only child is expecting her first child. So, so we're going to be grandparents soon. So, man, let's talk about, I guess, motherhood a little bit, parenting. How do you feel about that, Mom? How do you feel about or what advice would you give to your daughter just about motherhood?
Oh man, it's so much. You know, we always say parenting doesn't come with a handbook, and it doesn't. But I
would probably argue the Bible, but go ahead.
Yeah. I can kind of see, but I don't think when we say that, that's really what it means.
Yeah.
But what I would say is, and I tell people all the time, to nurture your kids' gifts. When you see that they're talented in an area, nurture it, because kids don't know. They just look at it as fun. But when you see that there's a spark in it, you have to kind of turn them in that direction, and kind of like tell them, you know what, you can do that. Oh, you're so good at that. Not just like, putting their head up, but like really honestly, like if you see that there's a gift there, like nurture that kid's gift. Spend as much time as you can with your kid, and quality time is so important. So important. And that's going to be like that all throughout raising your child. A lot of people think, oh, my kid's going to high school now, I can kind of take my hands off. Nope. That's the most important time to spend time with your kids and kind of get to know them and nurture them and have conversations. And well, as far as mother-daughter, I've always been an open book with you. And I think with us, that's just made us have such a strong relationship. We went from growing up together, because we were 18 when we had her.
Right.
And then, just raising her through her from kindergarten on up to middle school, high school, and then we became like the best of friends. So when she went off to college, I felt like I lost my best friend. So yeah, it's like, just spend that time, enjoy it. Every moment is precious. Every moment is a teachable moment. Right. Not like teachable yelling, but it's always like, just important.
Right. Always something to learn.
Yeah.
And actually, you can learn from each other.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just to add on to that, I would just say, just to and I'm speaking from a daddy's perspective. But yeah, I think that just being there for your child at all monumental moments, you know, especially when if they're involved in things, whether there's plays like you were in or just athletics, just being there as much as you can. You know, it's kind of hard if you're a single parent, but if but even then, just the times that you do have off and you can just attend those events, I think that is very important
Yeah.
to be
Yes.
there for your child whenever you can. Because I remember when I didn't have that at all, and it kind of does something to you just to know that you have some support.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It
Absolutely.
does something to you.
Yeah.
And you were saying something about nurturing gifts and talents.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you know, I believe that wholeheartedly because that's exactly what, when we seen that you had a gift, a love for reading at first,
Yeah.
and then a gift in writing. Not only did we want to nurture that, but when you got of a certain age, we wanted to invest in that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think both of those things are very important. It can really kind of like make or break a child.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because a child might not know what their gift is or their passion is, or they might not know that they have something special
Mm-hmm.
until somebody pointed out and then invest in it. For an example, you was writing short stories in high school,
Yeah.
and then you ended up publishing a book because we kind of read some of those short stories and we made a deal.
You
We
kind of
was,
started those short stories like in middle school, maybe. Like.
I think so because I remember doing. I think it all kind of started with writing prompts that we had to do in school, and it kind of just went from there. Those little, I think it was like maybe one sentence or something that they would give us, and we would just go
yeah,
from there. So yeah, I think that was middle school when that started.
yeah. And when by the time, I think in high school, right before you published your book, it was this certain story. I can't remember exactly what the story was,
Yeah.
but your mom was like, "Have you been reading Brittany's short stories?" I said, "I don't think I read anything lately." So she said, "You need to read some of this stuff." So, like I said, I forget exactly what story this one was, but I was reading it. And I think it had something to do with the book you ended up writing and putting out, Looking for Love.
Yeah.
Because when I read it, I was just so amazed. And I was like, me and her was talking. I said, we need to talk to her, you know, see what's going on, what she want to do.
Yeah.
And long story short, I said, I made a deal with you. I said, if you complete this short story, if you like write a book, we're gonna publish it. We're gonna figure it out. Because then I ain't know nothing about publishing no book. How I didn't even know the first step. All I knew was music.
Yeah.
But I knew we was gonna learn.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I knew that because I saw that you had a gift,
Mm-hmm.
and since we kind of nourished that gift, we wanted to invest in that gift. So, what was your feeling like when you seen your manuscript come into hard copies and shipments at the house? Do you remember that feeling?
Vaguely. I remember being very excited.
Yeah.
I think I was. I remember when the box came to the house and you had told me that's what it was, and I was so excited. I was like, "Let's get the scissors and open it."
Yeah.
But just feeling the hard copy in my hands because I'm always, and I still am, that reader that I can't read a book on the Kindle or anything. I have to have.
Turn the page.
I have to turn the page and have the hard copy, or it's not gonna work for me. I'm not gonna finish it. And so, having that feeling of having a book that I actually wrote in my hands was surreal.
Oh wow.
And so I also think that you guys seeing that gift and then nurturing me, that was extremely important because I think I just did it and I enjoyed doing it. I don't know if I ever thought that I was that good.
Yeah.
So hearing that feedback from you guys and you guys pushing me and encouraging me to do it meant a lot growing up. So I do think that's important. But yeah, seeing the book in my hand, and then even when we did it, you guys helped me put together the book signings. That was fun.
Yes.
Just the different people that came to get the book and I autographed it, and then later on I hear from them and they say, "Hey, I love your book. When does part 2 come out?"
Yeah.
So that was crazy, but it was good again because it confirmed for me that okay, maybe I am actually good at this. Maybe this is a gift of mine, you know.
And it was a variety of people, right?
Yeah,
You had like
older
older
people.
women that you was like,
Yeah.
you had to speak at their book club, and
Yeah.
our co-workers and young people, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, just standing in front of a classroom, and
Yeah.
you had a whole lot of book signings and stuff going on at that time, and
Yeah.
people that was actually loving what you put out,
Mm-hmm.
you know, your project.
Yeah.
But let's back up just a little bit. I just want you to speak a little bit on motherhood. Like, what are you looking forward to, and do you have any fears on becoming a mother?
Oh, I think my biggest thing is just, I think I mentioned this to you guys before, but just the feeling of wanting to do it right. But even still, it's like, what is that? What does that really mean?
That's what I was going to ask. Like, what is doing
what
it
does
right
doing it
look
right
like?
mean? Right. What does that look like? Because we all mess up and we all fall short at times, I think. And so I think one of it's a boy. So me and his dad always talks about things that we, how we want him to grow up, how we want him to be, different things that we want him to take away.
Yeah.
And so I think that one of the things that I specifically want to make normal is being able to apologize and recognize when I might make that mistake or I may fall short or do something. So being able to have that conversation and apologize for whatever it may be that I may have said or done that has hurt his feelings or something like that.
Yeah.
Not necessarily looking forward to, but just that I would want to do.
Yeah.
I think that something I'm looking forward to is just watching him grow up. I think that time goes faster than I could probably ever imagine.
Yeah.
It does.
But just really being attentive to his needs and his wants and his dreams and goals, and being able to, what you guys pretty much said, nurture that and spending that quality time creating different memories and traditions. Like I always think about, lately I think a lot about different traditions and things that I have with each individual. So you, mommy and daddy, Granny Emma, Granny Brenda, like I always think about things that I did with all of you and the impact that those things had on me. And I think about what I would want to take away and maybe start with Legend, what I would want to do with them. And so just those moments, those traditions is something that I'm looking forward to. Just the conversations, his bright mind, like I'm wondering what he's going to be inquisitive about, what he's going to want to get into. Like, will he be a writer like me? Will he be more on the creative side like his dad? Like, what will be his thing? And so I don't know. I guess I'm just looking forward to everything about it. I think it'll be a lot of different challenges, different things. People will lately ask me, "Are you ready? Are you prepared?" And I don't. I can't really answer that question because I don't know what it means to be prepared or to be ready, because there'll always be something that I could have never imagined would happen.
Well, I'll tell you this: when she was pregnant with you, we wasn't ready.
Yeah.
We had no idea what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And you're a lot older than us,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think you can still answer that question.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because we don't know what's coming, what to expect.
Right.
And this is your first child, just like you was ours.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like you've done this before.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
you're really just gonna have to lean on God, you guys,
Mm-hmm.
and your parents. You know,
Yeah.
the grandparents, and great grandparents.
Yeah.
Like Legend gonna have a big family.
Yeah.
You know, and
four great grandparents.
That's a blessing to for everybody to be around, and we just thank God for that moment alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
it sounds cliche, but I really do believe in it takes a village to raise a child, and so I think that that within itself, like you said, I can never be prepared or ready because I don't know what's to come. But I think that I've had a great foundation. I have great examples that I can go base it off of, but I also have a huge support system that I can rely on. And so I think I'm as prepared as I can be.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's good stuff.
I think it's great that you said it takes a village, because I don't think the average person your age feel like that or think that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they don't think about that at all, because it seems like the world has gotten away from that.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's more individualistic.
Mm-hmm.
You worry about what goes on in your household. Don't worry about my child. Don't worry about that person or this person. You know what I mean? Mind your own business. We in that era.
Yeah.
So for someone to say it takes a village, I wholeheartedly believe that.
Yeah,
100%. I think when we got away from that is the reason why we see so many men and women just lost out here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, of all ages, not just young men and young girls, but of all ages, people are lost because people can see other people hurting, turn their head the other way because you know, it don't got nothing to do with me.
Right.
When really it takes a village. How you feel about that?
Absolutely, it takes a village. I can remember you being young, and I don't know what I would have done if I wouldn't have had my mom.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, we were young when we had you. We weren't married, so I lived at home. My mom, he lived at home with his mom. I don't know what I would have done if I didn't have my mother to help me and give me advice and let me know what to do. I hadn't had the pleasure of going off to college and kind of having that away from home experience yet. So I needed my mom. I needed, my grandmother was still living then, so I needed all of the help I can get. His mom was very instrumental. Your Granny Emma was very instrumental in molding me to be the woman I am today. I learned a lot from her, and she was very supportive in raising you, so it definitely takes a village to raise a child.
I couldn't be happier. We all on the same page with that. But switching gears just a little bit, but kind of on the same line of the agenda that we've been talking about so far. We watched a movie yesterday.
Yes.
We watched a movie by Disney. A lot of you guys probably already seen it. It's called Soul. It's an animated.
Soul.
It's an animated movie, not so cartoonish, but more like I don't know if you guys ever saw the PJs when Eddie Murphy did the PJs, but the Soul is kind of almost along those lines.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can see.
As far as the way it looks.
Right.
Yep.
So ain't no secret around here with you guys that I still love cartoons.
Yeah.
Like I'm a cartoon collector, even though I don't have time to watch them. But I collect all my old stuff that we grew up on. I put you up on a lot of the stuff that I grew up on. You know. So we decided to watch this movie yesterday called Soul, by Disney, and it's a very deep film, y'all. It's good.
Yeah, it is.
Actually, I saw it more than once.
And I don't like cartoons at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
No.
And she's actually seen this one more than once now.
Yeah.
But this was your first time seeing it.
Yeah, it was.
Right? So, thoughts? What was your thoughts on the film? What was your thoughts? Let's talk about it.
I thought it was a really good movie. It is very, very deep. It makes you think. It makes you think about just life and what we might take for granted. What we deem as the pinnacle of life, if you will.
Purpose.
What we deem is your purpose in life. And like we kind of discussed off record yesterday, just about your purpose and how we define your purpose by your career. And that's kind of the end all be all.
Yeah.
And it's not in all actuality. I think your purpose can be a lot of different things, and sometimes it has nothing to do. It's not connected with any talent at all, or any career at all. And so I think that it was just deep. It definitely made me even think about kind of what my purpose is in a way, because I think I've questioned that a lot within my life. I've questioned if my purpose was writing, if that was what I was supposed to be doing, or was through my words bringing people together. Was that my purpose? Like just what is it? And so I question that often. I still question it at times, and so it just kind of made me reflect and think about my own personal life to try to figure out what it is. But then also, I think it begs the question on if finding your purpose, like, is that, I don't know how to word it. I don't know if it's gonna make sense, but if that's something that we should even try to figure out while we're here, you know what I mean?
That's a good question, though. That's a good
That
question.
that's a really good question.
Yeah.
One of the things is kind of what we talked about a few minutes ago was nurturing your kid's gift, and spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Kind of just watching the character in the movie, he was really trying to find out what his purpose was, and he felt like he didn't get the support from his mom, and I just kind of felt like had she supported him in that thing a long time ago, he probably would have found out that wasn't even really what made his heart set on fire.
Yeah.
Had she just got behind him and said, you know what, let's go ahead and try this. But she didn't do that. She was more so concerned about where that path took her in her past. So
Yeah. Took his father.
yeah.
And you know how his father didn't really make a successful living from that, because she kind of like supported it on the back end, and she was like, for him, she was like, she didn't want him traveling that same path, because he's like, don't get your hopes all up in that. You need a real job with some benefits, some medical benefits, a 401k, a pension.
Yeah.
She was pushing for that.
Right.
And that didn't really, at the time, didn't set his heart on fire.
Right.
He wanted to follow his dreams. He was
Yes.
a great jazz piano player or whatever.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's what he wanted to do. And even though he taught music in school, he felt like he wanted to do it
He wanted
on
his
a larger
name in
scale.
lights.
He wanted his name in lights. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people, you know, we searching for that fame.
Yeah.
You know, we want our name to be known around the world for the stuff that we love to do. And in the movie, like she said, spoiler alert, you might want to turn it off at this point until you watch the movie, then come back and turn it back on. So he kind of passed. He dies instantly in right after getting this gig that he was looking for, that he was chasing. He was working with this I guess like this celebrity jazz player, right? He got to be a part of her band, and this is another reason why you got to watch the words that you speak.
Yeah.
Because even before he went in and auditioned for that gig, he said, I can die a happy man if I get this gig.
Yeah, he didn't say work this gig. He said get this gig.
Yeah.
Right.
So he actually got the gig after he auditioned, and he walked out just as happy and skipping and all these accidents. He near misses, right?
He almost got hit by
A car.
A
wasn't it?
car.
Or a taxi?
Yeah, just all type of
dog
stuff.
almost bit him and ate him to death.
Yeah.
All kind of crazy stuff happening, but
So just in his own little world, in his own headspace, he just kind of fall in this manhole, right? And he dies just like that instantly. You see his soul going up to what I would call the stairway to heaven.
Yes.
They call it the great beyond in the movie.
yeah.
And so